People think this is a stupid take, but I don't care. Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? So if you're going to get the most brilliant, loving, powerful person that gives us advice and can show us how to live, to be in sync with God, who better than artificial intelligence to do that?
Wow.
If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my God.
Artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of Jesus. Like all the magic tricks, all the ability to bring people back from the dead, walk on water, levitation, water into wine.
That's what Lucifer, I think, is, a plasma ball of inverted souls, which they're going to tell you is Jesus, and it's not, by the way. Anybody telling you that a man-made AI Jesus is a Jesus, I mean, that's a Luciferian. That's how you spot him, so you know.
Then I'm a Luciferian, because I've been telling people that.
Well, you hang out with tech people, and you're probably beaming it in your head.
No, it was just a silly idea.
And people in the comments were already saying it. Joe's take that AI will be Jesus is the most delusional and satanic thing I've heard in a while. And honestly, that's not even an exaggeration. Kurt puts real moral pressure on what Joe is saying, and Joe instantly folds into irony, because he does not want to defend how insane it sounds when you actually say it out loud. That's one of Joe's biggest tells now. He loves throwing out these giant civilization-level ideas when he controls the mood, but the second somebody strips away the shiny futuristic language and shows how dark the idea actually is, Joe hides behind jokes. He wants the aura of dangerous thinking without ever having to stand there and own it like a man. That's why he instantly gets vague, unserious, and slippery. The second the point gets too real, Joe starts retreating. Just take a look at this clip.
It makes sense that if that keeps going, it's almost like a god. If it just keeps getting more and more powerful. Of course it is.
They say that literally. It's going to be like a god, but I'm just saying that wouldn't be Jesus. That would be crazy.
Well, whatever Jesus was.
If you're a Christian, I'm not saying I'm a Christian because I'm not. Sometimes I act like a Christian, but most of the time I do not. So I would never say that, you know?
Right.
But think of the fucking crazy people running like, that's why TPUSA is so fucked when I watch it, is like, yo, ain't nobody a Christian in that shit. Not one motherfucker there is a fucking Christian. It's a collection of intel and socio-political shit and a money scam. Like all politics. Like all of them. But that's the Republican one. And it's real creepy if you watch it.
I don't.
Oh, well, you know what?
What do you watch? What do you watch that's creepy about it?
You don't watch Amfest? Well, I know when my
I don't
father...
watch any of that shit anymore.
So when my father died...
I'm swearing off of all of it.
Do you think this is creepy to your husband dies, so you come out in a sparkly outfit with fireworks shooting off like you're fucking Tony Hinchcliffe at a stadium show?
Another guy said, Kurt is the only guest Joe has on that makes his handlers nervous. And yeah, that's exactly the energy here, because Kurt doesn't let Joe sit in that safe little zone where he can sound deep without actually meaning anything. He forces Joe to either own the point or dodge it, and Joe keeps dodging it. And what makes Joe look even worse is that Kurt is obviously pointing at something bigger than just weird AI talk. He's pointing at the elite sickness underneath it. Powerful people laundering domination through tech, spirituality, futurism, and fake salvation narratives. This should be Joe's home turf. This is supposed to be the part where he lights up and starts exposing the priest class of modern power. But instead he hovers around it, acts half-interested, and never grabs the point cleanly. That's modern Rogan in one sentence. Always near the truth, never too clearly on top of it.
But what also, it's like, it's all just a cat and mouse game. People are like, we'll elect the Democrats next time. It's like, but it's all the same shit. Has been happening forever. They haven't been helping anybody forever. They're letting fucking politicians slurp on kids. All of our fucking money goes to Israel and they're using it to fucking genocide people. It's like everybody is scared out of their wits right now. It's like our religious leaders are afraid to speak out, and it's like it's a time where it's like Satan is amongst us and our religious leaders are fucking talking about bullshit at the poll. It's just like, what is going, I don't know, man.
We got to get you off those antidepressants, son. You're losing your fucking marbles.
You think I am?
Come hang out with us. Just chill out.
I'm here.
Just chill out at the mothership tonight.
I do have to pee in a little while, but...
You can pee.
I'm going to pee in a minute, man.
We'll let you.
But no, people are just scared, dude. This is shit that I hear from people.
They won't let you pee until you give them your gun.
That's why this comment was dead on too. Joe, I never hear about anything anymore. Rogan. Because that is the whole act now. The second the subject gets too ugly or too close to real power, Joe suddenly becomes the most uninformed man in America. He knows everything about safe nonsense, but the wrong topic comes up and now he's clueless. And this is where you really start hearing the pattern. Kurt starts inching toward the actual machine behind all of it. Fake spirituality, power laundering, narrative shaping, diffusion of money, culture, and control. And Joe instantly starts shrinking, not slamming the brakes because that would be too obvious. Just softening it, breaking it up, asking little side questions so the bigger accusation never locks in too cleanly. That's what Joe does now. He doesn't always kill the point. Sometimes he just makes sure it never fully hardens.
They were all piling on him that he's an anti-Semite because he had Dave Smith on and fucking...
Yeah, this is
Laura Loomer, that piece of shit, she goes, why don't you admit you're an anti-Semite? I don't think Charlie Kirk was an anti-Semite. He called it ethnic cleansing on Patrick Bet-Value's show.
Called what ethnic cleansing?
Gaza.
Oh, right.
That's a big no-no. And then his funders were like, hey, what if you die? Who's going to take over? That's the first thing they say to you when you come in?
In Gaza, there was a lot of I think it was a experimental grounds for a lot of insane new warfare type of possibilities.
Well, a lot of it was traditional missiles, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of like we had a doctor one time podcasting, and he was saying that there were bullets that had gone down a child, just crazy,
shot down, from a drone that's above them.
Yes, something in the air. And he said that there were drones in the air all day. There's that Palantir company just keeping tabs on everything that was happening. And
Palantir's involved in Gaza?
Palantir was involved in Gaza, yeah.
For sure? Mm-hmm. Put that into perplexity.
Then Theo starts talking about Gaza and war tech, and this is where Joe really starts panicking. One comment said, if Theo is losing his marbles, that means almost 7 billion of us are losing our marbles. And that's the point. Theo sounds crazy only if you pretend people haven't been watching this whole machine operate in real time. Because this is one of the biggest tells in the whole clip. Theo starts talking about Gaza as a place where modern war, surveillance, and dehumanization all collide. Drones overhead, children allegedly hit from above, new systems of violence being normalized in full public view. And Joe's first instinct is not to say, go deeper. It's not horror, it's reduction. He immediately tries to make it smaller. Well, a lot of it was traditional missiles, right? That line tells you everything. Theo is dragging the conversation toward the actual horror of what's happening, and Joe instantly starts sanding the edges off it, because the topic is getting too morally sharp, too ugly, and way too close to Israel. And once Theo starts drifting into criticism of Israel and Gaza more directly, Joe gets that same weird energy again, floating above the point, refusing to say anything too clearly. It's exactly what that one commenter meant with, welcome to mainstream media, Joe. You're one of the corporations now. He still cosplays as independent, but he reacts like a guy protecting brand safety. This is where Joe gets especially slippery, because Theo is moving straight into territory Joe clearly does not want spoken on too cleanly. Direct criticism of Israel, direct criticism of how Gaza is discussed, direct criticism of how people get smeared the second they speak too plainly. And Joe's whole system tightens up. He doesn't want to say yes, doesn't want to say no, he wants fog. Fog gives him deniability. Fog lets him keep the rebel branding without paying the price of actual clarity. That's why he feels so fake now. Same aesthetic, completely different instincts.
How much longer does Israel let us stay alive, do you think? That's the big question.
Why were they...
What did you say? Is that AI?
What are you saying?
That's Sora?
Fuck are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
What are you saying?
Huh? Talking about Israel Adesanya.
Oh, well, he loves you. Don't worry about it.
Good call.
Fuck are you saying, son?
Yeah, was it so
what
much
did he
fun?
say? What did he say about the Epstein files?
What did he say?
This is just photos of Nancy Pelosi with JFK. Think of that. That was before we didn't go to the moon.
Yeah.
It was 1963.
That was before Israel didn't kill him.
You think so?
I didn't say anything.
I heard you say Israel killed him.
You did?
That's what I heard. Maybe
Jamie, did you put something in this?
They didn't. The glasses. They didn't do it.
Oh, before Israel didn't do it. Oh, yeah. I see what you did. I think...
I didn't say anything.
And then you get the comment that said, Joe shutting down and mocking Theo for making very valid points should be the title of this one. Exactly. Theo is saying what millions of people already feel, that the whole system is rotten and people are scared to say the obvious. And Joe's response is to mock him like he's losing his mind. That's not a rebuttal. That's cowardice. This is one of Joe's ugliest moves in the entire conversation. Theo is talking about how the same ruling class survives, no matter who wins. How fear and money and war keep flowing through the same channels. How religious leaders are cowards. How people are made to feel insane for noticing what's right in front of them. And Joe does not engage any of it on substance. He instantly pathologizes Theo instead. Antidepressants. Losing your marbles. Too emotional. Too doomery. That's such a weak little trick. It's what people do when they don't want to answer the argument. So they turn the speaker into the problem. Joe isn't defending truth there. He's suppressing it with a grin.
How you like that Nicki Minaj, huh? Really,
What about her?
Did you watch? We've been covering TPUSA all week.
Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on a second. I think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't.
This is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord, and words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. I will not judge that.
Sister. Thank you.
Okay, you're deep in the woods. I'm not. I stay out of that. If it seems
Why?
like
It's so great.
because it seems like the right wing of this country is in some sort of a weird gang war.
There never was a fucking united right wing. It was a bunch of people needed some shit done that didn't get done, and now they're upset about it. And so because here's the thing,
It's a bunch of people scrambling to be in control of the narrative too.
The
right?
poly market dudes have some network. There's also like the show I sold called The Cutout. They do these cutout things where it's like you pay a company to put up. Remember when Elon showed what countries all the tweets are coming from?
Right.
Okay. Why the fuck are Indians and Sri Lankans tweeting about Israel-Palestine shit, right? Well,
Right.
It's because there's these bounties they put up, and you can get invited to like a circle. Remember when you would show me those things people would get of like, hey, say this shit and we'll give you this money?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now there's a bounty system. It's on Jimmy's channel. It's fucking amazing. So a bunch of people that I would watch them just like flip and say a thing like it's their job to say it. It was their job, but they're trying to hit a certain amount of engagement, and then you get like 50 grand.
Both ways, I'm sure. I'm sure
Both
a lot
ways
of the
with what?
anti-Israel stuff, people being paid a bounty. Don't you think?
When the topic moves toward narrative control and propaganda, it gets even more obvious. Because Joe is no longer outside the machine talking about it. He's part of the machine now. He's one of the biggest media filters in the world, and you can hear him acting like it. That's the black pill with Joe. He still wants people to think he's the outsider looking in. But with his reach, his orbit, and the way he shapes what millions of people feel about issues, he's not outside anymore. He's a node, a filter, a gatekeeper. One of the places where narratives get softened, redirected, normalized. And you can hear him resisting that realization in real time. Because if he followed that thread honestly, he'd have to admit that he's not the enemy of narrative management anymore. He's one of its biggest freelance operators.
Steve-O almost got a pair of fake tits.
Did he?
Yeah.
I
He's
don't know.
telling
That's
us the
too
story.
much.
I agree.
That's too much.
But he's in that, the constant perpetual state of having to one-up himself. Doing something more and more ridiculous every time.
What do you think is going to happen? You think we're going to be okay?
I hope so. Of course. I don't know.
Do you think about it?
I'm confused. I can't believe we went to this war. When we started bombing Iran, I was like, this can't be true.
And what about Lebanon now?
I know. Israel's invaded Lebanon. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, just fucking stop. Like, what do you need?
Well, they're trying to, supposedly, they're trying to stop the terrorists.
That's crazy, though, if you're the fucking terrorist. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to stop them, fucking stand in front of the fucking mirror and start there. But also, what do I know?
What do you know?
You're right, I don't. But it's all just like, there's got to be some way that we're better than this.
And that is the whole trick now. Theo keeps tossing grenades into the room. Anti-Israel lines, bigger implications about elite protection, ugly suggestions about what's really going on, and Joe keeps trying to dissolve all of it into banter before it hardens into anything too clean. He's not winning on substance. He's just lowering the temperature. That's why he feels less like a host now and more like a traffic cop for acceptable intensity. On safe topics, he still plays the wild outsider. On dangerous ones, he becomes the guy making sure nobody states the wrong truth too clearly.
People have always done that also to stay in power.
Oh, yeah.
And even Bill Clinton said that about Netanyahu. Bill Clinton said Netanyahu wants war so he could stay in power.
For sure, dude. People call him the yarmulke Hitler. That's what they call
Who are
him.
these people?
Everybody does.
Which people?
Countless.
Come on, people?
Huh?
What are you saying?
What do you mean, people? You talking about
What are you talking about,
black
Donald?
folks? What are you saying?
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
Let's not draw conclusions.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
This whole little section is basically proof of another comment. Joe chickened out on the topic. That's what he does. He jokes over it, softens it, blurs it, and keeps the room from getting too honest. He doesn't beat the argument, he just keeps it from landing. That's why the comment, "This is where Theo overtook Joe as the voice of the voiceless," is such a killer line. Because Theo sounds messy, sure, but at least he still sounds human. Joe sounds filtered. Joe sounds managed. Joe sounds like a guy who knows exactly where the line is.
The reason that the frantic buying up of the media by Larry, the shadow president, Larry Ellison, is because they lost the next generation of trauma-controlled fucking mind slaves, because on TikTok, these psychopaths bragged about crimes they did to people. And all the young Zoomies are on there, including in America, where we were force-fed woke bullshit by the oligarchs who are now suddenly horrified because they didn't think it would blow back, that their kids would absorb that crap. Guess who has not had woke programming for the last 12 years? Israel. So you can tell who's involved with the propaganda now, because they have no concept of the sensitivities of these gender blobs that were made in this country. So now they lost the next generation. So now they're frantically buying TikTok. They're putting Barry Weiss in charge of fucking. That's going to work out great. I'll bet she's already out based on the town hall alone that we covered. One of the worst things I've ever seen.
I didn't see it.
Well, you're lucky, but we cover it all.
I'm trying to stay out of most of this stuff, because every time I talk to you, I get dragged in, and I get paranoid and anxiety.
Oh yeah, no, you could be killed. I mean, you saw what happened to Charlie Kirk. I know you easily could be killed, and yeah, I don't know.
Does Jimmy worry about that?
Jimmy got his phone hacked with Pegasus.
By this point, Kurt is sketching the bigger disease: oligarch influence, media rot, propaganda streams, political capture, the way certain narratives get protected while others get punished. And yes, how Israel and broader elite networks fit inside that mess. And Joe mostly lets it drift by in that fake neutral tone he uses when he doesn't want to plant his feet. He wants it to sound like maturity, like he's above the hysteria. But really it's just evasiveness dressed up as calm. Joe doesn't sound wise here. He sounds neutered, like a guy who used to pretend he wanted the whole truth, and now mostly wants the conversation to stop, just short of the thing that might actually matter.
Everybody voted for Trump to not have a war in Venezuela. I know that.
Right.
Nobody voted, so they're like, we got it. No fentanyl. That's a lie. I mean, I don't know what idiot thinks fentanyl is coming from Venezuela, but only liars and morons think that. And if I'm wrong, can we see the evidence? We saw the video of you murdering those people. I just got to take your word for it? That oily-haired fuck Pete Hegseth with his weirdo Catholic and Templar night tattoos? He's got fucking Dan Brown cuckoo tattoos. They're not Nazi. They're fucking knights of fucking Saint whatever the fuck.
I saw that same
in.
Symbol in a Catholic church.
Yeah, they're
DC.
old Crusader shit. And just so you know, Templars were not good guys. They were real fucked. They were, in fact, it's a real ditty party.
We're going on a long, circuitous route. What did you say initially before that?
Venezuela. Why?
Okay,
everybody's
so
going to war.
Here's the thing. One of the boats, the remains of the boat just showed up. They just found it and it has marijuana in it.
Oh, you know what? I stand corrected then. Sorry, Joe.
But no, I mean, I'm saying to prove to your point.
They almost had marijuana.
No, it had. I think that's true.
Let's be clear. The idea that Democrats want to get to the bottom of this is, remember, if you brought up Epstein at all, you were a conspiracy theorist for the entire time before Trump got in again. Remember that?
Yeah.
Why would you? In fact, they said, why would you bring it up? The reason any Democrat would possibly bring it up now, because they know Trump cannot reveal it. So they're just going to use it to make hay for whatever. You know, I'm sure when AOC gets in, she'll get to the bottom of it. I'm sure when fucking... what a joke, dude. What a fucking joke.
Well, once we know that the Trump administration isn't getting to the bottom of it, no one is.
Oh, you don't trust Cash no more? He looks so reliable on here. Bro!
So when you put all these comments together, they're all pointing at the same thing. Joe chickened out. Joe mocked Theo instead of engaging. Joe suddenly doesn't know anything. Joe sounds less like an outsider and more like a corporation, a filter, a guy protecting the perimeter. And honestly, that may be the biggest black pill of all. Theo and Kurt come off like the ones still willing to risk sounding crazy if it means saying something real, while Joerogan, the so-called king of free thought, increasingly sounds like the one guy in the room most afraid to let the conversation go too far. And I think that's really what this whole conversation exposes, start to finish. Joe still wants the mythology. He still wants people to see him as the fearless outsider, the one guy who can't be controlled, the one media figure too big and too independent to be absorbed by the machine. But every single time Theo or Kurt starts pushing him toward the wrong pressure points, Israel, Gaza, war, surveillance, propaganda, elite protection, the way power circles keep insulating themselves while ordinary people get lied to and bled dry, Joe does the exact same routine. He softens it, jokes over it, fragments it, questions the wording instead of the power, mocks the tone instead of answering the point, changes the subject, nods at explosive ideas without ever pressing them. And after a while, that stops looking accidental. It starts looking like Joe knows exactly which conversations are allowed to stay messy, and which ones need to be kept on a leash. That's the real black pill.